good sources that the Ministerial Advisory Committee has made a recommendation that all of these regulations should be abandoned. And that is coming from the Ministerial Advisory Committee in the Department of Health. So whether the NCCC actually heeds to that call remains to be seen. But like I said, some of the utterances that have come out over the weekend, including from the President's office, are concerning, that they seem to be completely oblivious that we're in a very different phase of the pandemic, and that many of these measures, in fact, are doing more harm than achieving any meaningful impact on preventing infections.
Yeah, I mean, there have been criticism against the NCCC, against government, that it seems that most of their, decisions are not scientifically backed. Do you think there's any reason to actually worry that they might not be backed by any science?
They're certainly not backed by science. The wearing of the type of face mask South Africans are asked to wear pretty much doesn't prevent infections. Asking people to maintain a distance of 1 meter, 1.5 meters indoors, completely oblivious that the major route of transmission and acquisition of the virus is through the airborne transmission. So it doesn't matter whether you're 1 meter apart or 2 meters apart. If you've got a poorly ventilated indoor space, people will get infected. So there's a whole lot of things that we continue practicing, pretending like it's achieving much when it isn't. Hand hygiene, as an example, is something which is a good practice and should continue, but it doesn't protect against COVID-19.
Yeah, what you're saying is quite worrisome, and I just wonder, we've had this debate back and forth of whether or not masks should continue, but you're raising another point, that it's even the types of masks that we're wearing, because most of us are under the impression that just wearing any mask does the job, but actually, in fact, it does not. So where do you stand in terms of mask wearing, rather? Because it seems some South Africans, if not most, say they are actually fatigued, they're tired of the mask, and they want to do without it at this point.
Yeah, we need to be clear, if the type of mask that we were wearing actually did prevent infections, we wouldn't have had 70% of the population having been infected with the virus at least once before the onset of the Omicron wave. And that figure probably now sits at about 80 to 85%. So the type of mask that South Africans have generally been wearing doesn't protect against infection or even reduce transmission into the environment. In addition to which, we don't wear those masks correctly. So if you're wanting masks to wear, you need to wear the N95 type of mask, and you need to wear it correctly. There needs to be a tight seal around your nose as well as around your mouth, and that simply doesn't occur. So pretending that masking works when we're not using the right type of mask and we're not wearing it properly, simply, again, it's nothing more than COVID theater. Should people still wear masks? Certainly when there's a lot of virus circulating. People that are at high risk should wear the N95 type of mask, especially when indoors. But for the rest of the population, almost no reason to be wearing the type of mask that we wear.
Yeah. We've just sounded from this conversation, Prof, it seems the agency still lies with each and every one of us. And I appreciate you speaking to us. Wits University's Professor Shabir Madhi, thank you for your time.